I get it. People need help. I am not unsympathetic to that. Please. I'm simply suggesting to you there's political hardball behind the scenes that matters and always matters because the Democrats play political hardball all the time. It is Pelosi who has delayed the relief to you. Pelosi needed this bill. There were public union bailouts she wanted, state bailouts for blue states that spent their states into oblivion. Pelosi needed this bill. She delayed the bill, thinking a signing of a bill where you got a check by President Trump before the election would benefit Donald Trump, so she delayed it. Does everybody get point one? Bullet point one. Producer Joe? Okay, good. Paul has given me the thumbs up. Pelosi delayed it. I'll play the video in a second. I'll get to that. Of her admitting she delayed it. It's her words, not mine. She delayed it before the election because she was afraid if Donald Trump was in the White House, putting his Donald Trump John Hancock on a bill delivering stimulus checks. One, it would juice the economy, so Pelosi was afraid of it. Two, it would let him score political points and beat Joe Biden. So she delayed it, thinking, wow, I really got this guy in a corner now. But by delaying it, she caused herself a whole bunch of problems. Because now that she thinks Biden won, and like I said, I'm not conceding anything until I hear all the evidence here at all. But now that she thinks Joe Biden wins, she thinks that the Trump team's just going to go back to hunky-dory and just cave, figuring, if we leave and the next administration comes in, we'll just sign it and walk out the door. Trump said yesterday during that speech, no, we're not signing this crap. But he didn't mention veto. Why? Let me show you this photo from the Senate. I was at Senate.gov about a pocket veto. Hat tip Chad Pergram, by the way. Chad Pergram from Fox, who put this up on his social media feed. And it's an interesting idea. Senate.gov. What do we have up here? What's a pocket veto? Well, this isn't a Constitution class, but for the sake of the show, because there's just what may be going on behind the scenes, a pocket veto. The Constitution grants the president 10 days to review a measure passed by the Congress. If the president does not sign the bill after 10 days, it becomes law without his signature. However, if the Congress adjourns during the 10-day period, the bill does not become law. Oh, isn't that interesting? So let's be clear. Pelosi needed this bill more than Trump. She needed this bill. Why? Because her delaying it, thinking she was hurting Trump, did what? Actually cost her probably anywhere from 10 to 15 congressional seats. The Republicans routed down ballot in the election, in the presidential election. Everybody clear? Pelosi miscalculated again. Put aside the presidential for a moment. You may say, well, she did damage Trump. But, most people think he lost. The Democrats all think he lost. We'll see about that. But there's no question she hurt herself in the House of Representatives, where if these 3 House of Representative members leave to join a potential Biden administration, she'll be down to a 1-vote majority in the House, which is basically the equivalent of a no-vote majority. She did damage. To clean this mess up now, she needs this bill to pass. So the delay actually hurt her because she thought Trump was going to roll over. Now he hasn't rolled over. What is a pocket veto? What does it have to do with this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the current House, the 116th Congress, their terms expire January 3rd. So if Donald Trump does nothing with this bill at all, and it doesn't get to his desk essentially by today, then all President Trump has to do is nothing. He doesn't have to veto it. The bill dies because it would become law in 10 days if he does nothing. I'm telling you, he could do nothing. It'd become law. The problem is in 10 days, the Congress is out. They would have to do some concurrent resolution and refile this thing. Point being, the media narrative, here's the media narrative. I know it's a little confusing. Remember, just keep in mind, number one, Pelosi needs this thing to pass. She thought delaying it would put Trump in a corner. What she effectively did is put herself in a corner. She delayed it so long that now she had this, Trump has this pocket veto as a weapon because the Congress, after today, only has 10 days left. There'll be a new Congress 10 days from now, after January 3rd, and that new Congress is going to be less Democrats, not more. She has less leverage, not more. If Trump simply does nothing and they don't get the bill to him by today, the bill goes away. Now, you can do that concurrent resolution and add things to it. And there's always the possibility they'll get it in today, which will force Trump's hand, because if he does nothing in 10 days and this new Congress is still here, if he does nothing, the bill becomes law automatically. But if they wait till the end of today and he does nothing, that bill goes away as it was because there's a new Congress. Make sense, Joe?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You sure? You don't sound too confident.
I'm
I want
sure.
that. That 10 days only comes into account because they've only got 10 days left. And Pelosi, the dunce, waited too long. If she just would have got it to him yesterday or the day before, he has to do something in 10 days or either veto it or sign it, because then the bill automatically becomes law if he does nothing. Or even if he vetoes it, it goes back to this same Congress and they'll override him. But by waiting, they may have screwed themselves big time. Now, showing you what a tactical miscalculation this was, not only is Pelosi, who thought she was gaming Trump, not only is Pelosi now quietly knowing behind the scenes she's in a lot of trouble, because Trump's like, your bill sucks, you're going to fix it according to my conditions, or you get nothing, nada. Pelosi's already on tape admitting she delayed the bill. She would have gotten it to him sooner. She probably wouldn't have lost 12, 15 House seats that she lost because her members ran on nothing. Her Democrat members who were in charge, the Democrats who were in charge of the House before the election, couldn't run on. We're helping the American people with these stimulus checks because they couldn't pass it. Because Pelosi thought she was doing damage to Trump. She cut off her nose to spite her face. Not only that, she's on tape talking about it. You don't believe me? Here's Pelosi in her own words. I delayed this thing because look at me. I'm the master politician. Really? Check this out.
Yeah.
Was it a mistake not to accept half of a vote months ago when you said, I'm not going to accept half a vote?
Look, I'm going to tell you something.
Now,
Don't characterize what we did before as a mistake, as a preface to your question, if you want an answer. That was not a mistake. It was a decision, and it has taken us to a place where we can do the right thing without other, shall we say, considerations in the legislation that we don't want. Now, that is it. Now, the fact is, I'm very proud of where we are.
She admits delaying the bill. She basically says it right there. The guy said, was this a mistake, delaying the bill and not taking the Republicans' earlier offer of a $1.8 trillion stimulus, which was double what they get now, which Democrats should love. It's more government spending, right? Pelosi said no to that. So she gets half of what she wants now. Even the left-wing media is like, wait, Nance, hold on, Nance. You're supposed to be this genius, master tactician politician, right? The Republicans gave you double what you think you wanted now. 1.8 trillion months ago. You said no to that. Now you get half of what. And wasn't that a mistake? No. She says it wasn't a mistake. We did it on purpose. She just admitted to it.
Yep.
She delayed it thinking she was going to box Trump into a corner, and now she's in a corner because her Congress that she's in charge of is done on January 3rd, and Trump can now, if the bill doesn't get to him in time, can basically pocket veto, meaning he doesn't have to do anything.
You just heard Dan Bongino.